That was alright. Listen, we're here to do our game today, a men's game. It should be interesting. We'll talk about the teams first, the tactics that they should have. I know the Belfast team are only a get-together team, so I wouldn't expect too much fluid basketball, too many plays. It will be more street ball basketball, quick and fast. Fast breaks, that's what we're going to do. I will expect plenty of running. What about the Dublin team? Are they?
I think it's the Galway team. The Galway team are similar to that, put together from a few different clubs around town. After seeing the other team play, I think they're going to be a little bit slower. They have a couple of good point guards, but they're going to be lacking a bit of size and a bit of mobility inside.
Okay, so we just have to be ready to keep running, make sure that our mechanics are right. When we do step onto the court, we're going to start with the very basics. We'll make sure that our game management is right. We want to make sure that everybody has got their uniforms tucked in. They're wearing nothing that they're supposed to. Some of the guys are wearing the long compression stockings, not to be on. We'll make sure we're going to manage that from the very start. The jewellery, there will be no jewellery. Working on to our game management and our bench management, we'll make sure that we only have one coach or one assistant coach standing at a time. We're not going to have both of them screaming at us and shouting at us. Both the benches are close to the table. I don't like that, but there's nothing that we can do. We'll make sure that there's one coach standing at a time. Substitutions, we'll make sure that we manage the substitutions, that when they come on, when we tell them we're ready. If we have to administer to the table and say, I'm sorry, just wait, I'll be finished. We'll administer nice and slow to the table, and then we bring the substitutes on. I don't want to be a stickler for we only have 5 players on the court at one time. As soon as we see one coming off, okay, now you can come. We get them it's nice and quick.
On that, I think with some of the table officials, some of them are being assessed here today, so we might want to just keep an eye on them early on in the process and make sure that they're comfortable and knowing we're all working together.
Okay, perfect. Our areas of responsibility we'll move on to now. We've been refereeing a long time, I know that. We're going to make sure that we look after our own areas of responsibility. When we talk about getting into area 6, if there is a post up in that area, we're going to go across quickly. That means I'm not going to rotate too far, I'll show you what I mean on the book. If we have a post up in the low post area, and you're the lead referee, make sure that you go and have a look. Stay just roughly in line with the end of the key and look in that direction. The same thing, the trail official, drop down a nice wee bit and he's going to look that way. And we still have all the players boxed in, and we can see what they're doing. Once the ball comes out from the low post, don't be afraid to rotate back again. Rotate as much as needs to be. If there is something that happens under my nose and I miss it, I'm not afraid for you to step in and call. Step in and make the call.
And likewise.
We're going to be sure that if you do step in, we're not going to be ball watching, but just want to make sure that we have each other's backs if something does go wrong. If there is pressure or a press, the ball is going up the court and there's more than 4, and if you are the lead official, I will hang back towards the halfway line to help you, and we'll move up together to help him. And likewise, I would expect the same from yourself. Any more than 4 will stay in to help with that. On the communication side of things, we want to make sure that when the ball goes out of bounds, we're ready. We get thumbs up where you show me the ball, so we're ready to call. Johnny, you ready? Definitely. Here we go. I'm going to call. First attempt, or first chance that we get on a dead ball or time out at the end of the period, we'll come together and we're going to talk in the middle of the court if we've anything to discuss. If we don't, we'll go back there 2 sides at the free throw line and we'll wait on the teams coming back in after their timeouts. 50-second timeout. Once we hear the first buzzer, we will walk over, tell the coaches, right, coach, it's time to go in. By the time the second timeout, the buzzer sounds, we want to have all 10 players on the court ready to go. If there is double whistles, that we'll make sure we look and see who's the closest referee to it or who it's going towards. If we do have a difference in opinion what the violation was, if you call the foul and I call the violation, we have to come together. It's important that we come together, we'll discuss what happened very, very quickly, make a decision, and then we'll move on. Goaltending and basket interference, make sure it's done by the trail official only. Moving on to defence. When we're looking after this game, we're going to try and manage the game, as opposed to going out and calling it and dictating what happens. We're going to manage the situation. We will talk as much as we can to the players, and we'll explain that to the captains at the start of the game. We are prepared to talk to everyone, but once they start to abuse it and question calls, all our calls, and sorry, we have to stop and we'll talk to the coaches, the captains only.
Yeah.
Right? We don't want to talk about every call. Post-play and hand checking. Moving on to the post-play, we're going to talk about managing hands off. When we're refereeing the defence, I want to tell them this is not allowed. 2 hands on somebody's back, not allowed. An arm bar, yeah, we're happy enough with that. I just want to tell them, if as soon as they start to try and manipulate somebody, we'll say, hands down, hands down, hands down. If they don't listen, then we're going to call it foul.
Yeah.
We're going to try and talk our way out of things, whatever way we can. Clock management, make sure what I would like is that we call on an 8-second violation if there's any sort of pressure and they're trying to get the ball over. We only call, show the last 4 seconds being called. If we try and do this for every possession, it doesn't work. If there's a bit of pressure, the last 4, 5, 6, right away up to 24-second clock. There is no 24-second clock at the minute, so what we have agreed, if we get down and there's 10 seconds remaining on the 24-second clock, 10 fingers, I'm going to shout 10. That's it. Once they get down with 5 to go, 1 hand, 5 seconds, and that's it. We give them no warnings after that. We don't count the last 5 minutes. It's just 10 seconds, 5 seconds, and then a violation if needs be. And technical and unsportsmanlike fouls. If we do have to call any, make sure that we call them. We are right when we do make the calls, and that the referee who calls the technical or unsportsmanlike goes giving us the fouls. Have you anything you would like to?
No. Looking forward to it. Best of luck with it.
Is that alright?
Great.
Have a good
Good too.